So we are live. We are waiting for everyone to join. So I think tonight's going to be a good one. Basically, the pyramid of fat loss priorities. So the pyramid of fat loss priorities. What's most important? What's least important? So we're going to be interested to see where people put different things.
Yeah, and this is really helpful, guys, for anybody at any level, because we get a lot of questions like, what supplements should I be taking, or how many steps should I be doing, or what cardio should I be doing, or what should I be eating when, that kind of stuff. And some of these things aren't going to matter to you. Some of them will, and some of them won't. Some of them are really not important at certain times. And then the more advanced you get, those things become important. So as you're logging in, as you're tuning in here, drop a hashtag I'm here and then your name next to it so that we can give you a shout out. Like Holly. Hey, Holly. Hey, Sam. Our clients. They're dedicated bunch, aren't they? Jenna. Dedicated bunch.
I think Jenna's just done a new workout, or she skipped it and come here. Or she's in during her workout.
Jen is here. Jen just sent me a video message. She is thrilled. She hated me while she was doing her cardio, but now she's like chuffed. She's had like the best workout ever. Hey, Gina. Hey, Soph. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Lindsay. Wow, we've got quite a few people on here today. I love a Monday. Mondays are like the busiest lives, aren't they?
I think people are usually ready and set to go.
Yeah, or they just haven't got life on Monday.
Probably that.
Fabulous. So, guys, the way we're going to talk about this pyramid, that's what we're going to call it, pyramid, is we're going to start at the bottom. This is what everybody needs to start on.
Most important.
Yeah, this is the most important thing. And without these things, and to be honest, we'll probably go, oh yeah, and this, and this, and this. Without these things, do not pass go. Do not collect £200 or dollars. Just stay in that zone until you have completed it, and then you bump up, and then you bump up, and then you bump up, and bump up. Because if you go straight to the top, this is going to be a pointless thing for you to do. It's not going to make any difference. Start at the bottom, you will see the biggest bang for your buck. It's all horses for courses. Hey, Scott. Monopoly, yes. Monopoly with weight, apparently. So yes, that's what we're going to do. So whether you want to lose the first £10 or the last £2, this is going to be applicable to you. So stay tuned. Scott wants to be the wheelbarrow.
And if I get to be the hat.
No, I want to be the hat.
No, I've already called it. I'm the hat. Scott's the wheelbarrow. You can be the dog. You like being the little dog, don't you? Don't blow it up.
Did everybody hear that? Did everybody just hear what Cam just called me?
See, Scott's saying it as well.
Nope, Scott isn't saying it.
Is it like a terrier dog?
It's like the worst kind of dog.
True. It's yappy, isn't it?
Someone's in trouble. Okay. Could be worse, could be the boot. Cam's going to have the bloody boot if you don't pack it in. Alrighty, so I know we've got some notes here, Cam, but I do want to add a couple of things to it. So first thing is, guys, what do you think? This is what I want to know from you guys in the comments. What do you think is the most important thing you need to do to lose weight? What is the most important thing?
Scott's fault. Got too excited about Monopoly.
Have you seen this new Coke? It's Coke Clear, it's called.
Clear away.
Coke Clear.
0 calories, is it?
Mm-hmm. Consistency, calorie deficit. Consistency, calorie deficit. What's the next one going to be?
Come on, Scott. You got to carry on the ladder.
It's not Snakes and Ladders, it's Monopoly. Calories. Someone ruined it. Motivation. Don't talk to me about motivation. Who's that? Who said motivation? You're in trouble as well. Lots of people in trouble today. Cam, whoever said motivation. Scott is going to be in trouble. Protein exercises. Calories, protein exercises. That's the way this person, sorry guys, we can't see names, thinks of this ladder, pyramid goes. Pyramid scheme. Okay, so I think discipline, not motivation. That's better. That is better. Whoever that is, gold star. So I think the first thing you need to do is sort out your hormones. That is the first thing I think you need to sort out. What do you think?
Yeah. I think it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard place to start.
It is the hardest because you don't necessarily get physical results right away. Don't worry, whoever you are that says I'm new, don't worry. I'm just messing around with you. So what hormones? Indeed. So when we get new clients on board, typically we don't put them into a fat loss phase straight away. We put them into a priming phase. And the point of the priming phase, the PPP, is to make sure their hormones are as good as possible. If you've been in a cycle of losing weight, regaining it back, losing weight, regaining it back, blah, 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 and gaining back more, your hormones are probably screwed. If you are any age over 25, hormones are probably going to be an issue. If you're stressed, hormones are a problem. If you have
cortisol,
well, yeah, that's the hormone. If you have PCOS, hormones are a problem. If you are a woman that has progesterone, estrogen, hormones, and testosterone, hormones might be a problem. Endometriosis, hormones. Perimenopause, hormones. Menopause, you guessed it, it's hormones. So we need to sort these out before anything else, because if you are chronically stressed, if you're always doing like a ton of workouts, if work is really busy, if you just bang, 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 you're doing like HIIT workouts and all this kind of stuff, your cortisol is going to be high. If your cortisol is high, your body does not want to release fat. Doesn't want to. It is going to be like swimming up tide, okay? So the bottom one, which is the most important one, is hormones, okay? So we're not going to go into detail of how to fix it, but things like sleep, stress,
self-care, rest and recovery.
Yeah. And just chilling. Okay, so once that is all sorted, what do you think the next important thing to do is?
I think once that's out of the way with, and if the goal is fat loss, obviously, because it's the fat loss pyramid, the most important thing is a calorie deficit. And I think the biggest thing to say about that is I always explain it as like a driver and a car. So calorie deficit is the driver, and like the vehicle is like keto, Cambridge weight loss diet, low carb diet, high protein, low fat, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do, is like the vehicle that gets you there or puts you into the calorie deficit. So calorie deficit is always a driver. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you do intermittent fasting, it puts you in a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter whether you do keto and have low carb, it puts you in a calorie deficit. If you don't have a calorie deficit for you and for your body, you won't lose weight and you won't lose fat. Like you can 100% lose scale weight, but not be in a calorie deficit. You can just not drink water. You could just have an Epsom salt bath or go in a sauna and you'd lose scale weight. So we're talking about fat loss, and for fat loss, you have to have calorie deficit as your driver, and then the vehicle is what works for you and what you can consistently do for at least the next 6 to 12 months. Because if it's not, you're going to be getting out of that vehicle. It's going to break down. And then you're just going to go back to the start again.
You have to phone the AA.
You have to phone the AA.
Or the RAC.
Well, they are racy, yeah.
So you do need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. People say, I always find this a bit funny and sad, okay? When people say, I tried keto, I tried this, I tried that, but what worked for me was a calorie deficit. I'm like, oh, fucking no shit, like. Obviously, when you were doing keto, you were eating too much of whatever. Obviously, when you were trying the carnivore diet, you were still eating too much. But if you were in a calorie deficit doing any of those things, you would lose body fat. Now, what I will say is, personally, I think that hitting a protein target is more important than dropping your calories. And this is because if I said to you, you've got 3,000 calories and you have to hit 100 grams of protein, that's fairly easy, isn't it? 100 grams of protein, 3,000 calories, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If your calorie deficit was 1,400 calories, and I say you have to hit 100 grams of protein, people would struggle. So this is why we, as coaches, give a protein target before a calorie target, okay? And what happens behavioral-wise, is is that you will consciously or unconsciously make better decisions because you'll be fuller, you won't want to eat as much shit, you won't overeat because you're filling up on protein. In fact, a lot of our clients say, oh, I don't know how I can eat anymore, I'm too full. And I'm like, eat more. And they're like, no, I'm too full. When you burn more calories as well, eating protein. So I think once you're able to hit a certain amount of protein a day, if you can hit 140 to 160 grams of protein a day, that is when I'd say, okay, now we can start dropping calories if necessary. Do you think?
Yeah, I think indirectly it does way more than what people think. And it can control a lot of things indirectly. And that's, people always go for like the straightest road, which is like calorie deficit. But then if you can't hit your protein, it comes back to that. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to lose body fat or are you trying to lose scale weight? And when you start to lose muscle and everything else, it's just, you don't end up where you want to be. No. And then people just start again.
And also what happens is, say I'm on a calorie deficit, I'm eating 1,400 calories, and I'm like, shit, I've only been eating like 30 grams of protein a day, which is not abnormal, guys, unfortunately. When we get clients in, sometimes they're eating like bare minimum of protein. And they're like, well, it's okay because I'm in a calorie deficit. It's not going to be okay when you want to tone up and your muscles are like, oh my God, I'm catabolic, which means they eat themselves, basically. So Cam keeps putting me off by interrupting my flow here. If you're on a low calorie, if you're on 1,400 calories and you have to hit 160 grams of protein, but you're only hitting 30, and then we're like, okay, let's bump up the protein. People are like, well, I can't do that because I don't know what else I can eat in order to get the protein target. So, and then they overeat and then they come out to their deficit and they get annoyed and all that kind of stuff. So protein first, which is why whenever anyone asks us in the group, in the free private group, how many calories should I be on? I say, forget calories, go and watch the pin post. That has helped some people in the group lose up to 10 pounds. I think 10 pounds is the personal best so far, isn't it? It's the top one.
I saw either Sam or Jenna.
Sam, I believe Sam's lost 10. And so, yeah, that is more, that's the, psychologically, that is the best way to do it. But you do need to be in deficit. So even if you hit your protein target, 140, for example, your calorie maintenance is 1,600, let's say, as a pretend. And then you're like, do you know what? Now I'm going to have a pizza. But the pizza pushes you over to 2,500 calories. Then it doesn't matter if you've hit your protein because you're still going to go over your calories. You're still going to gain weight. But chances are you're probably going to be fuller by eating the protein. So maybe you wouldn't eat a full pizza unless you meal can. In which case, we'd still eat that full pizza.
Yeah, we don't share.
We do not share. Part of our relationship agreement, isn't it?
No sharing pizzas.
Hey, Leandra. Hello.
I think Leandra normally does What to Replay, so she's not normally here live.
Oh, hey. Sam, might have been. I did good on my own for a little while. She did do well. Okay, so we fixed our hormones. Check. And how long does it take to fix your hormones, Cam?
It depends.
Roughly?
Like 4 to 12 weeks. It depends what people have been doing.
Try months. 4 to 12 months. Like Cam says, obviously it depends on what you've been doing, your history, how long you've been in a deficit for, how long you've been experiencing things. Are you on medication? All of these kinds of things. But let's think about a female cycle. 1 a month, roughly, right? So the first one's like a test phase. The second one is like we tweak one thing, we keep tweaking, narrow. That's only 12 cycles that we can actually go through. So 11 tweaks we can make. It's not that much really, is it? And obviously cortisol, you got this like build up. We need to be able to relax. It takes a long while for some people to learn how to relax. And so that can take a while. So people expect that phase to be like, well, I've gone to bed on time for 2 weeks, except for the weekends, because who goes to bed time on weekends? Why? Let's go into my calorie deficit now. We're like, no. Doesn't work like that. It takes a while. Catherine's here. Croissant Catherine, flaky Catherine. So anyway, we spent 6 months in our priming phase. Then we have hit our protein / gone into our calorie deficit. Those two are like
linked.
They're linked, yeah. Like the calorie deficit is more important, but the way to get into a calorie deficit is primarily eating protein. So it's, whatever. What's the next thing, Cam?
So a lot of people say to us, well, I want to lose weight, but I want to look toned.
Can I add? I want to lose weight and then tone up. That's what people say now.
So one of the biggest things for that is we want to be able to maintain muscle mass. So once we hit like 30, every decade you start to lose a lot of muscle mass anyway. So naturally your metabolism is going to slower because you're losing muscle.
Cry.
And then people are just really guilty of really deep calorie deficits. So like if I do 500 calories, I'm predicted to lose a pound a week.
Or if MyFitnessPal says, if you keep eating like this, you will lose X amount, or you will be what weight in 2 weeks time, or wherever it is.
But it doesn't tell you you're probably going to create an eating disorder and lose your muscle. But
I want to know, as we're talking about this, like who has thought, I'll do more cardio and then that will help me lose weight, or I will eat less and then I'll lose weight. Who has gone into this mindset of the more I do, the better results I'll get, or the less I eat, the better results I get? Put me in the comments. I want to see. Put your name as well, because otherwise I'll just be like, me. A certain slimming group told me not to tone until I reach my target weight. And this is why slimming groups are shit. Because they're not qualified. These people are not qualified nutritionists. They're not qualified anything. They're not qualified. They just lost a bit of weight. Okay, so we've got me, Teresa, Sam, Leandra's guilty, Jenna, Vicky.
The biggest thing is I've seen in other groups, like maybe not weight loss groups, like recipe groups, and people ask for help. The biggest or the most common thing where people all say, I've plateaued in weight loss, I've done a lot and now I can't lose anymore. All of them say, I train 6 times a week, 6-7 times a week. And you're like, if you're not an athlete and you're not like doing it for sports or even for a job, why are you doing that much? It's just way too much. It's just, it just really overdoes it. Like,
and you can't do any more.
Yeah, like once you've gotten the results of that, your body's whole job is to adapt to what you do, just purely to make life easier. So once it's like, right, I'm used to running 5K every day, 6 times a week. Guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to run 6, 7, 8K a day to do what you normally do and then do more. So people, instead of starting, like we always say, start with the minimal amount of movement and the most amount of calories to get a loss, then you've got lots of room to change. But if you start with hardly any calories and as moving as much as your lifestyle and time will allow, you will 1,000,000% get quicker weight loss. Again, is that fat loss? Not all of it. It's probably going to start to become muscle and water and carbs. But then where do you go from that?
And also you'll probably binge it back because you're starving.
Yeah. And then the second thing is the likelihood of you carrying on. Like, can you sustain it? Probably not. So that is just the biggest thing. So after all of that, number 3, where are we? Or number 4?
I want to know who is dropping off because they're going to a wedding venue. Oh, well, I have to check my comments on my page because it's not loading. Good luck. Lovely, whoever you are. Yes, so this is why I freaking hate, with a passion, eat less, move more. I fucking hate that phrase. It is the most abused phrase in fitness, health, weight loss, because you can only move so much and you can only eat so little. Like our photo shoot girls at the minute are moving a ton, and I'm like, move more. And some of them are like, you know what? I can't move anymore. Like my lifestyle is like too hectic for that. And that's fine. We're not forcing them to. It's just optional. But the same with us. Like we are pretty busy at the minute. And, you know, I'm on 8,000 steps and supposed to be getting 12. So now at the end of the night, it's 8:30 here. I've got to now go for a walk. But after that, I am getting space in my life to move anymore. And I am getting space in my mental health or Cam's life to reduce my calories anymore. So that is an untrue thing. You can't keep eating less or moving more and eating less. Like this, it's a silly thing to do. So we want to do as little as possible and eat as much as possible to lose weight. So prime in, calorie deficit / protein intake. So what activity should they be doing then, Cam?
Lifting weights, resistance training, building the guns. So like we did say, you start to lose muscle mass, and we just want to maintain it while we're in a deficit. Most important thing is just to maintain, and then if we build in a deficit, it just becomes a bonus. Rather than trying to do, if you're very new, like we're not going to get into it because that's like a whole nother like body recomposition of building muscle, losing fat. You can definitely do it at the same time, but it suits different people. In different phases of their life. We'll go that far. But lifting weights is probably one of the best things you can do just to maintain muscle mass, maintain like, you know, basic level of strength.
Increasing metabolism.
Again, so many benefits, but the older we get, essentially the easiest way to, if you don't use it, you lose it. It's as simple as that. If you never used your bicep and never pulled anything, never lifted a cup of tea, like literally never moved it, it will atrophy. Like we've all seen people in casts, they don't move it, the muscle becomes smaller. Do that for like a year and it will shrink.
Yeah. So lifting weights, if you're at the beginning of your exercise or weight loss phase and you're like, Faye, I don't know whether to do cardio, I'm going to lose some weight first and then I'll tone up. No. Weights first. Weights are always the priority. 1,000,000%. It's going to help you tone up, and it's going to help you lose weight at the same time because it's more activity than what you're used to. And as your weight comes off, as the fat comes off, you're going to show this really sexy toned body underneath. Whereas if you lose weight, you're going to be fucking knackered for a start because you've probably done a ton of cardio. You've probably not eaten very much. You probably haven't hit your protein. And now you're just a small, skinny, fat version of yourself, which no one wants. You guys want to look good inside and outside of clothes, not just in clothes, right? You want to be able to like show off your abs. You don't want like hanging skin. You want nice, strong arms. You don't want like just like bingo wings. So you need to lift weights, girls. There you go.
So what's the next one, Faye?
I think the next one is... See, I feel like we've missed one here. I feel like in the around the calorie one, maybe above that, as in like a little bit alongside lift weights, I reckon, should be... I think we should have...
makes our own pyramid.
We should have an exercise pyramid and a lifestyle pyramid.
It's going to be like the Twin Towers or something.
Whatever. But also the quality of your nutrition, of the calorie deficit. Yeah. I think that's really important, because if you're eating shit, you could have McDonald's a day and lose weight, yes. But will you tone up? No. Will you have shit energy? Yes. Will you have crap digestion? Lol. Yes. And so and you're probably not going to sleep very well. You can be hungry the rest of the day. So if all those things are going on, you're probably A, not going to stick to it. B, you're going to overeat. And C, you're not going to look the way you want to look. So yes, you might be in calorie deficit, but you're so lethargic, you haven't got any energy that you can't actually do anything. So I think that alongside lifting weights, with the nutrition section, you need to be having good quality foods. And that includes carbs. Like, don't cut your carbs. Unless we tell you to, just because I know Katrin's watching. But generally, like, we need good sources of carbs, and fruit and veg are carbs, guys. So you can't say to me, I don't eat carbs. I just have a salad, and then I have vegetables, and then I have this, and I have that, and some fruit and some berries. And I'm like, that's all carbs. People just don't understand. They're carbs, okay? And you need them. Well, you don't need them, but they help you to feel more energized. You get all the nutrients from them, the minerals. Again, they make you feel better. And if you feel better, you're more likely to stick with the diet. Stress management is better. You're less likely to binge in the evenings. You're less likely to all the food, inhale all the food. And then you're more likely to want to go for a walk or to want to spend time with your partner, rather than being hangry and low carb and I hate you. So yeah, that's what I think should be alongside lifting weights, but the nutrition version of it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, what's next then?
So the next one, I was going to say it's the most important one, but it's not, because it's not at the bottom. But outside of what you're eating and what you're doing, the next most important thing,
third pyramid.
The third pyramid is the most important. Third one is sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're not recharging, you're not regenerating your brain, you're not recharging your muscles. It's just literally a mountain of benefits of sleep. If sleep wasn't that important, evolution would have got rid of it thousands, millions of years ago. We need it. We have to have it. But you could be one of those people where it's one of those things, you can live without it. You can learn to sleep 3 hours a day if you're some weird, crazy night shift worker. So it can be done, but because it can be done doesn't mean it should be done. There's a big difference. So you need to get your sleep in check. One of the studies we always tell our clients is of 2 sets of group. One had 5 hours sleep, one had 8 hours sleep every night. And I think they're in the same deficit. They both got the same amount of weight loss, but the ones that slept 5 hours lost way more muscle and lost a little bit of fat. So they've lowered their metabolism. They won't look like what they want to look like, and they've not wasted their efforts, but just by simple
wasted their muscles.
They've wasted their muscles. But the group that slept 8 hours lost, you always lose a little bit of muscle with your weight coming off, in big amounts, but we're always just trying to minimize it. And that group had little weight loss, little muscle loss, and lots of fat loss. So that's why it's such a key thing for fat loss. It will help your body.
Yeah, but also because I like to talk about this, the psychological effect, guys. What happens to you the next day after if you've had shit sleep? Drop in the comments. What do you typically do? Apart from yawn. Tell us.
What goes out the window, or what happens when you've had no sleep?
And we shall wait. We'll sit here and wait until we see some comments. I'm going to jump on my phone to check the comments on the Facebook, on my group. Eat. Winner. Want sugar? Yeah.
Kill the husband.
Overdoing coffee, eat more, bad mood. Yeah, exactly, guys, exactly. So all of these things happen, and so when you are in a bad mood, what do you do? You shouldn't eat crap, don't you? I need sugar, more sugar. Yeah. And then as soon as your sugar spike drops, what do you need more? Sugar, and then that happens. Coffee or caffeine, Jenna says. Well, Jenna says eat more, which yes. but also the coffee, the caffeine, then makes you stay up late the next night. You can't sleep. And so this cycle continues. But typically, you never feel full. You never feel satisfied, do you? You're always like, oh, God, like ravenous the day after. You're yawning, grabbing some sugar, try and carry on with the day. And then the diet goes out the window. You binge in the evenings. You okay?
You just said send 200 stars.
Oh, something else. Yeah, you binge in the evening, and you just give up basically on the diet, especially if it's the weekend. You're like, fuck it, start Monday. So sleep is really important. It actually controls lots of hormones, but 2 of them, leptin and ghrelin. One of them makes you feel full and satisfied, and the other one tells you that you're hungry. So if they're both off, which happens when you don't sleep, you're always hungry and you never feel full. So that is the hormonal response to lack of sleep. Okay. Jenna also says, forget the exercise. No fucking chances there. There's no chance of exercise if you have had a bad night's sleep. And even if you do, you drag your ass there because you're like, I'm going to the gym because I have to go to the gym because I have to lose weight. Your cortisol, which we spoke about earlier, is already high because of the lack of sleep. And now you're pushing it through a workout that doesn't need to happen. Cortisol is higher, which means holding on to that fat. Like, we're not getting rid of that fat. Throw water out, atrophy muscle. Yes, that's fine. But we cannot get rid of this fat. So that's why sleep is really important. What about, when should I be adding in cardio then?
Once all of them are in a good position.
One of the last things we do with our clients, kind of, because we count steps as people's cardio, don't we? And depending on the results they want and the goal that they've got and that kind of stuff, cardio is one of the last things we'll put in. If people can't hit their protein, we don't get them to do cardio. If people are getting shit sleep, no cardio. If people aren't lifting weights, no cardio. If people aren't in a calorie deficit, no cardio. So like this is what we do. This is the last thing, or one of the last things, activity-wise, that we do. So cardio is like the last thing, guys. And you've seen all of the results that we get. And cardio is one of the last things. In fact, if we don't have to put cardio in for people, we don't. We've got people that hate cardio. They just don't do it. That's fine. We don't add it in. So cardio is one of the last things activity-wise you should be doing. But lower down, I think just general activity is very, very helpful as well. I think we should make 3 pyramids, Cam. I'll get on Canva. This is going to be my new project, 3 pyramids, things to do, okay? So yeah, staying active is going to be more important than doing cardio. People probably, usually, burn more calories on a day that they don't go to the gym than a day that they do go to the gym, because they'll put all their efforts into a gym session, they'll do their run or whatever, and then they'll be like this for the rest of the day. They're not moving. They're not fucking moving, especially if they've had bad sleep. There's no chance. What about meal timings?
For most people, I don't think it really matters. It could just stay at the top of the pyramid. That's just not that important.
What about supplements?
Goes even further up the pyramid, not that important.
Wait, what is the one supplement you'd recommend that people buy?
I think the most researched and the most proven one, I guess whey protein is what some people would count it as, like whey protein to like help supplement.
Or any kind of proteins, doesn't have to be whey.
True.
If they're like vegan or plant-based or whatever. So protein powder is a supplement, is to supplement a diet, not to be your core protein intake. Okay, so it should come from whole foods. Let's say your protein target is 150. I would expect 120, 130 of that coming from whole foods and yogurts and things like that. And then the last bump to be a protein powder or protein shake. Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Jenna says magnesium. Magnesium is also a very, very good one, especially for women. If you've got period pains or severe bloating or anything like that, magnesium is very, very helpful. Best protein foods. We've done a live on this. We went through snacks, breakfasts, vegetables. We did a lot, didn't we? So whoever that is, drop me a message and I'll find it and I'll tag you in it. Drop me a message because all I see is Facebook user. And I'm not going to remember. So drop me a message. Sorry, I only just joined. That's all right, whoever you are. I'm really crap at eating lunch. Would a whey shake be a reasonable substitute? So the first question I ask is why? Again, we don't see who you are. I'll show you guys. Like, this is what we see. We see that it's Facebook user. Okay, so why are you crap at eating lunch? Drop that in the comments. And I will go into the Busy Women's group and see if I can see whom is dropping messages in there, or comments in there rather. Rona has just joined. No worries. Sophie, it is Sophie Kennedy. Really crap, eating lunch. Oh, it's really delayed. Look.
Yeah.
Too busy. I either work through or just don't know what to eat. So, if you work through, obviously this is going to depend on your job, but any kind of job actually, you're going to be better fueled. Yeah. So your brain needs food in order to work. If you're like a farm worker or whatever, you're going to need to throw things. You need to eat to do that. If you are a teacher or a childcarer, then you need to be mentally switched on to be able to do your job. So by working through and not eating, that is going to be a disservice to you. It's going to be a disservice to your health, your future, she's nail tech. There we go. Your clients. I don't want my nails done by someone that's not going to take care. In fact, I had someone buff my nails a couple of months ago and put like a cut across my skin. It was very painful. It got infected. So I bet she didn't have lunch. So there's one thing. The next thing is don't know what to have. So Sophie, I think you've got the protein framework, but what do we have for lunch, Cam? It doesn't have to be like, don't think like lunch has to be like a full-on thing. It's not like a full-on thing. It should be like small things, especially if you've got clients. Maybe you've got 10 minutes between one client and the next client. You don't have to have it in an hour. You could just grab a little snack between two clients. So what would you say are some good small snack proteins for like lunch or snacks between clients?
I mean, real food is always the best. And if you've got time to prepare it ahead and you bring it in as a lunch, so you don't maybe have to heat it up, you can eat it cold, is always going to be good. So you can have any type of like chicken meal, chicken wrap, tuna wrap, anything like that. You can pre-make the night before, wrap it in tin foil, put it in a tub and bring it in. You can put salads in it, tomatoes or whatever like that. You can make your own made chicken sandwich. You've then got the most basic of like a protein shake, a piece of fruit, and a handful of nuts. It sounds the most boring, but it's probably the most balanced meal you could have on a quick go. It's got protein, it's got carbs, it's got fats, it's even got fiber because of the fruit.
But you do want to be prioritizing a proper food over that. That's like a last resort kind of meal.
Yeah, it just purely depends on the time that you have of the break.
Yeah, but you could also have like Greek yogurt, overnight oats. Like they're foods that are good. Overnight
oats, people say it's for breakfast, but you can have it whenever you want. Protein puddings.
Yeah.
You don't have to have them in the evening. You don't have to have it for dessert. If you want your dinner in the morning, have it. If you want eggs, scrambled eggs for lunch, have it. Like there is no rule to it. It's just what suits your life.
And deli meats are very easy as well. Like the other day, I literally sat here eating ham out of a packet.
If you need to be quicker, like go buy deli meat or chicken chunks, like pre-cooked chicken. Go buy a bagel thin, and then and some mayo. Put some mayo on, put some tomato sauce on, whatever you like, and just put it in a sandwich and eat it like that. So you don't need to heat it up or cook it. You can buy a pita. You can buy those little flatbreads. Wraps, again, all really easy. You can just put in
microwave rice if you've got time.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to make it, and we're not looking at it as, oh, that's bad for me, it's good, like, oh, that's good for me. We're not labeling the foods. We're looking at the foods as this is a protein source, this is a carb source. Yes, sometimes they're a bit more processed, but overall it's better to feed your body than just to like starve it and just end up being really hungry in the evenings.
And
Like
binging.
Baby Bells.
Baby Bells, yeah.
2 Baby Bells, I think, are like 10 grams of protein. Like, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
And just, make your own little pack lunch like you're at school. Just make your own high protein pack lunch.
Yeah. I think people always think like you have to have like a sandwich for lunch because they don't know what else to have. But you could just have like chicken, cheese, fruit. Don't have to be in a thing. Doesn't have to be put together. You can just snack. And if you did have something like chicken, cheese, and fruit or whatever, in between clients, you could just grab then, can't you? You could be like, right, I'm just gonna have like a bit of chicken here, a bit of cheese now. Later on, like a bit more cheese, and okay, now I'll have some strawberries or whatever, salad, tomatoes, whatever. And you could track it as one meal. Just you've had like a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. And I think that's a fine idea.
Yeah, if you don't have time to have a big meal, but you can snack small throughout a whole day, you could pre-track all of your snacks, and then if you eat all of them in your first break, you're buggered. You're going to be hungry. But if you nibble throughout the day, you still know how much you're having.
Yeah.
It's just finding what works for you.
But the last option would be a protein shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Anybody got any other questions? I was going to sit here, chill, before I need to go for a bloody walk. So basically, guys, if you're looking to lose the first 10 pounds, start at the bottom, or any weight, actually. If you think you've got your hormones down, like you're not getting mood swings, your energy is good throughout the day, if your periods are regular, not like really bad pains or anything like that, what other hormonal issues could there be?
Like digestive issues.
Yeah, digestive
Lots
issues.
of bloating.
Yeah. Anything like that. Mood swings, headaches. If you're constantly getting any of those, don't move to the next one. Okay. Once that's all sorted, then you can move on to like your protein / calorie deficit, good quality foods. Then you go on to lifting. Then you go on to whatever the next one was, sleep. So that's the way you go up. Okay. I will create a trilogy of pyramids. I'll do that at some point. Jenna's out for a walk as well. There we go. She's good, isn't she? There you go. So, guys, if there's no other questions, thank you for joining. We hope you've got some value. I want to know who's implementing what. So when I come off this, or when we come off this, I want to see some comments in the bottom there saying, this is my next step. What is the next step? Maybe your next step is the first step. Maybe you need to go back a couple to start again. But that's what I want to see in the group. All good?
Sounds good to me.
Fantastic, guys. No worries, Sophie. You are very welcome. If you've got any questions, guys, let us know. Aside from that, welcome to the group if you're new. Continue coming if you are not new. And we'll speak to you guys soon.
Bye.